essentially my last 21 years of working life have been in the area of communications. Prior to Microsoft, I was with a communications consultancy firm called IPAN Hill and Knowlton. So working on various issues, be it marketing communications, corporate strategy, or crisis or issues management, whole breadth of issues across a wide, varied sector of industries. At Microsoft, I'm responsible for all external, internal communications, including analysts, relations, and some amount of influencer management, etc. It's changed largely because of technology. There's this huge implosion of technology, which has enabled a lot more direct-to-direct contact. So earlier, we would use a lot of the media being, plural for medium. Whereas the mediums are now breaking down and you're far more in connection and contact with your direct consumer. So even look at the government today. They're thinking of the 12th five-year plan, and really nice to hear they actually put it up for consultation and asked for feedback into what should be going into that plan. So eventually they're talking to their direct constituencies, right? So I think technology has made that happen. Two, technology has also made it happen in such a way that it's there 24/7. You don't no longer wait for your newspaper next day. Television, of course, did make a big difference, but television still, there was a little bit of a time lag. Today, most news breaks on Twitter and Facebook first, and then really you start going out to your television to get a lot more depth in there. And the next day you read in the newspaper even more in-depth analysis, etc. So that's how, two big things that have come about. And that, as a result, you now have to change the way you previously told your stories. It's no longer just a narrative of facts, but it's actually how do you make those stories, because there's so much of media as well, and there's so much clutter. How do you sort of break through? So it's very important that you get your storytelling right. While I talked about this implosion of technology, a third thing has happened as well, and I can't say whether it's independent of the current scenario or because of the current scenario and the implosion of technology, but it's two concurrent facts happening. So one is this implosion of technology. The other is, if you look at around the world, a huge number of lack of faith in the governments. So whether closer home, it is, and businesses actually, whether it's Satyam scam, 2G scam, CWG scam, WikiLeaks, or all of the world, all of the changes that are happening in the Middle East. I mean, so there is this lack of faith and trust in the established systems, be it governments, be it companies, be it NGOs, it's happening across. There's a lack of faith. What social media has done is actually is demanding far more transparency, and I think that's one of the big contributors that is. So it's come about together, and then because it's so direct and everybody can be reached 24/7, it becomes even more important that as communicators you become far more transparent in your communications. Helping them think through what is the end objective, and therefore how can you help communicate that, keeping that end objective in mind. How do you effectively communicate, and plus what are the various possible ways, tools that they could use for communication. How do they integrate it all across, because for any communication to be successful, it has to sort of, things have to play along together. It's got to be like an orchestra. So what are the various tools that they can use to help communicate that single message that they want out there? How can they make it relevant? How can they sort of connect with the people who they're talking to or presenting to, make it more, understandable, break it down into simple. So it's not about jargons, etc. Keeping it simple, making sure it's one message that you want delivered. How do you do it? Various tools. Essentially, I hope to be able to sort of channelize that thinking.